production. So it's actually even more complex, in my mind anyway, what's happening in Europe now because of African swine fever. And so Germany has historically been the largest producer and exporter out of Europe, and now Spain is surpassing them. So Spanish production has been growing strongly for years. I mean, they've had some kind of setbacks here and there, but generally growing. And that's in contrast to the situation in Germany. And Germany's production it was in decline even before they found ASF in September of 2020. But when Germany got ASF, that was, kind of the death knell to the industry that was already facing high costs for environmental requirements, high costs for animal welfare. And they had some changes on the labor side too. So Germany historically had plant labor cost advantages, and that has gone away. A 30% increase in the minimum wage, all of this. So cost increases dramatically. And then the export side, they can export some. They have access to a few markets that have regionalized. So it's not zero, certainly, but their exports are heavily restricted because they did lose access to China, ironically, because China has ASF, and into Japan, Korea, like all of the higher value markets in Asia as well. And so Germany's pretty limited on where they can export. And so especially, again, for these variety meats, I was talking to a German producer at Pork Expo, and he was telling me that they have to pay to have the variety meats or offal rendered because they've lost those export markets like China. So their producers are, it kind of breaks your heart because we never like to see producers suffer, and they're having one heck of a rough time. So a big decrease in German output. Again, Spain's hog slaughter has been running up year on year to date, but it looks like now that the growth in Spanish production is not going to be able to offset the decrease in not only Germany, but also Netherlands, Belgium, some other important producer and exporters that are also expected to see less production. And then you mentioned Denmark. Denmark is another power player on the export front, especially. And they had a big decrease in sow numbers in, I think, their April inventory, down more than 5%. So Denmark has historically shipped a lot of piglets into Germany in the past for further fattening and slaughter in Germany. And obviously with ASF, that changed everything. So Denmark is being impacted as well. So for us, we look at the future demand for U.S. pork as only growing because Europe, again, is our biggest competitor when you look at them all together. And it's just a super challenging environment for production in Europe. They get 40% of their feed imports from Ukraine. And so feed costs have accelerated.